Disney seems to be moving at the speed of light when it comes to updates, retheming, and expansions for their parks that they just can't seem to slow down. Over the last couple of weeks, Disney has made major moves when it comes to their future. First off, we've gotten an announcement on when Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza and all the construction walls in Epcot will be down. That's going to be happening June 10th. Both the state of Florida and the Disney company both settled out of court when it came to their lawsuits against one another. Disney also filed permits for the staging area of Dinoland USA's retheme just north of it in Animal Kingdom. We also have leaks coming from sources inside the Disney company confirming pretty much what's going to be inside of Animal Kingdom, and that includes Coco, Encanto, Indiana Jones, and the possibility of a fourth attraction that could possibly be completely standalone inside the park. Now, no official announcements have happened when it comes to when will this retheming occur, but if it's me, I'm going whenever Tiana's Bayou Adventure officially opens. You have all the openings of Epcot. You're probably going to get Animal Kingdom's shut down, and not really realistically the complete park, but the Dinoland USA retheming will begin. Walls will be going up, and I'm going to say it's going to be late June, early July that we start getting the walls up inside of Animal Kingdom for this retheme. Now, let's move into more pressing matters that seems to be coming from Disney every which way. We know that June 10th is going to be a big day, especially for Epcot and all of the people that have been looking for it, i.e. me, looking forward to all the construction walls being down. Well, we also just finally got an announcement on last year's announcement of the retheme, or not retheme, but the update to Test Track. Test Track's update will start June 17th. So we're going to have one full week, and that is it, of walls being down in Epcot and the park running at 100% capacity before we have more walls going back up in Epcot. Now, most of the time I am kind of hesitant whenever I go, more walls, great, it's going to be another 3 years. No. This time, I feel confident that this reimagining of Test Track to Test Track 3.0, if you would say it, will happen pretty quickly. And not only do I think it's going to happen, I think it has to happen for the sake of Epcot, because that ride is a massive people eater when it comes to people in the park. Not only do they need it, you also have a longtime partner of Test Track, who was the original partner of Test Track, GM, who's going to be funding this update. Now, GM, from the standpoint, has always seemed to keep things simple, yet update things far enough where it's a drastic change, and it keeps the viewer or the rider very engaged. It seems to be from, I'll put the art up of what it looks like it's going to be. It seems like it's going to be mostly the same, but it's kind of updating Test Track in a classy way, a more modern, futuristic look that's going to fit the times over the next, let's just say, probably 15 to 20 years. GM's putting in over $100 million into this project, and I think, realistically, based off of past updates, that we're probably going to get this done right on time, with inside of a year, at most a year and a half. So I would say be ready for this updated Test Track to come to us probably late 2025, and at the worst, the very beginning of 2026. But I realistically think GM's going to hold their timelines. They're going to make sure that this ride moves quickly. It doesn't seem like we're doing much to the ride when it comes to, we're not changing the tracks. We're just going to be updating all the aesthetics and making sure that The building looks nice. We're getting rid of that canopy out front. We're going to get some really nice coverage. And then the inside, the updates to the ride will be mostly cosmetic to make sure that the attraction sticks with the future of times. Moving into more expansions. Now, we have a retheming happen in Animal Kingdom with a possibility of an expansion inside of Animal Kingdom. We have the update to Test Track. So things are moving, like I said, very quickly. Not only that, I think we might be getting an announcement for another expansion before D23. And it might not come in the official announcement, but similar to what we have in Disney's Animal Kingdom with its staging area, we are probably about to get the same thing somewhere in Magic Kingdom, which is crazy to say. Disney has filed permits with the state to start their sewage construction, and it's the first early stages of any type of expansion that Disney ever does, is that they have to get all their sewer lines and all these other like minute details to start early phase construction, and the possibility of getting that staging area installed will be probably with inside of this year. I realistically think Disney might announce or at least file for another staging area before D23 ever gets to us in August. It seems like they're moving very quickly. Now that Disney's kind of gotten out of the quicksand with all of its lawsuits and the board meeting, Disney is not letting off the gas, and they are moving so fast. And I think you also have to apply that, look, Epic Universe is coming, and they can't do anything about it. And like I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, Disney is going to be very aggressive. Disney is not just going to sit on the sidelines and twiddle their thumbs. That's why they've gotten out of the lawsuits. They've done all these things to make sure that their board of directors is pretty much solid. Disney is going to be much different than what it's been over the last 4 years. And like I've said in the past, Disney's going to look very similar to the Disney boom, what I call the Disney boom, from 2010 to 2019, when it seems like Bob Iger was just a steamroller for innovation and new things in the park, and it seemed like it was happening all the time. So get ready for massive news before August that we will have expansions for, I'm going to say, beyond Big Thunder in Animal Kingdom. And if it's me personally, I still think that this is probably going to be a Villain's Land. And from what we've also heard is that Rivers of America, the ride, might be in trouble, that realistically it could now be like this beyond Big Thunder, could it be around Big Thunder, that we might be losing that attraction or a giant piece of that attraction, meaning that they're going to lose some major landscape. I mean, you got to think that's a 20-minute ride. Yeah, it eats up people, but I would only say it only happens when it's super, super busy in the park. So I still think, realistically, what land is going to go there, in my opinion, is a Villain's Land. I think we're going to finally get something on that level that people have been asking for years. All of the big names that was originally put back beyond Big Thunder have now moved into Animal Kingdom. You have Zootopia, you have Moana and Epcot, you have Coco, you have Encanto, Indiana Jones. All of these major attractions are now somewhere else. Pretty much, like, it's pretty much done deal that those rides are going to be in Animal Kingdom. The only other name that's been left and hinted at is a Villain's Land. So, and that ties in with Fantasyland and Haunted Mansion. I mean, you have the capability of doing some great work there with a lot of real estate. So I'm super excited about this. Moving into Disney YouTube news, this one's pretty cool because you would imagine that this type of video would have been put on Disney Plus or something like that, but Disney's Imagineering on YouTube actually gave us a sneak peek at the animatronics going inside of both Disneyland and Disney World's Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Now, the animatronics that we realistically saw will be for Disneyland. because we're assuming that almost all of them or most of them have been installed inside of Disney World's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, these animatronics look absolutely amazing. Like, we saw Tiana months back and she looked phenomenal, but we get a sneak peek at Louis, and I have to say, this will be hands down the best animatronic that Disney has ever created. Now, these are very, very cutting edge, high tech pieces of equipment. Nothing like the old school animatronics that we used to see. And I'm also thinking that this type of animatronic, this A1000 animatronic, will also be taking the place in Country Bears Jamboree, getting rid of those old hydraulic animatronics for these new electric animatronics, because I have to say, these have the most realistic motion that you will ever see in animatronics, at least probably for the next few years. Like, Disney has put all of these small little motors in every single motion, and it is crazy to see how these things work. Like, absolutely insane. Louis looks amazing. Like, I cannot say it any more than, like, he doesn't even have, like, his costume on in most of this, and just, like, the skull of the robot itself is going to be insane. Like, the movements that we get out of these animatronics are going to put these rides over the top for the next years to come. Like, no other animatronics. Frozen has 0 on this. The closest animatronic that I'm going to say is probably Avatar. Like, Avatar's animatronics are amazing as well. The fluidity of motion that they have is amazing. It's just something about seeing these cartoon-like characters come to life, and it is second to none. And this is just on video. So I cannot wait to see what these animatronics realistically look like in person on my next trip. See, October cannot come fast enough, because I was excited for Tiana's, but I was also like, it's just a re-theme. It's going to be the same ride. Like, but I am super excited now. Like, these animatronics are going to tell great stories. I know there's not going to be a lot of them, probably somewhere. I know Disneyland's Tiana's Bayou Adventure is bigger than what we have in Disney World. They have 17, it looks like, A1000 animatronics with a bunch of other either figures or something else that's going to be in the rides, or like lower tiered animatronics. Disney World's probably going to have somewhere between 12 and 15, I'm assuming. That's just a best guess because the ride is smaller. I cannot wait though. Like, this has now turned into I am giddy for this ride, because it's going to be that crazy, and it's just for the animatronics. Like, that's what I'm excited for. And speaking of my trip coming up in October, if you're curious to see what the price of a 2024 Disney trip could be for a family of 4, please go watch the video somewhere on this screen. But for now, go out, be you, be great, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.